Welcome to Astrology Valley, where we uncover the secrets of the universe and bring them straight to you. In this reading, we're looking at the question, what can you do to attract love into your life? Congratulations on picking the 10 tarot cards that I will use to answer your love question. Of course, that question is, what can you do to attract love into your life? Let me slowly reveal the 10 cards to you and answer your question in detail. The way this is going to work is I'm going to flip each card over one at a time. I'm going to give you the full description of each card. Once all 10 cards have been flipped over, we'll then review the cards to find out what you can do to attract love into your life. Are you ready to get started? Okay, great. Here we go. The first card that we have here is the Page of Cups. Now, the Page of Cups is a very interesting card indeed. The Page of Cups represents delightful surprise, inner child, and intuition. The Page of Cups heralds a happy surprise of some kind. The fish that pops out of the cup is a signal that one's unconscious is attempting to make contact, though sometimes one does not understand what is meant being said. This card represents a delightful surprise, so it does represent something happening in your life that is unexpected, okay, that leads to good things. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next card now. We have to flip over all the cards before I can tell you what they're saying combined. Let's keep going. The next card that we have here is Temperance. And Temperance is actually a really great card as well. It looks like things are starting in a really positive way here. Temperance represents taking the middle road, finding a balance in life that allows you to attain a sense of calm. When it relates to the external world, it also means adapting, cooperation, and meditation. The card represents the middle path, patience, and finding meaning. Now, having balance in your life is something that is amazing, and it's something that everybody looks to attain. Of course, finding balance, in this case, related to this question, what can you do to attract love into your life? It represents you reaching a state of physical and emotional balance, making it appear as if you have things in order and together in order to attract a worthy partner. Let's take a look at the next card that we have here. And the next card is the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles represents, well, anyway, this card represents, this card stresses the importance of hard work and diligence in accomplishing your goals. It indicates a time to buckle down, study, achieve new skills, all in the name of being able to change your circumstances. This card represents education, apprenticeship, and achievement. Well, this is a card that basically represents work, represents you looking, represents building, represents figuring things out. Still a very positive card. But let's move on to the next card. Let's see what else we have in store in this reading. The next card that we have here, and this is a fantastic one. This is the King of Pentacles. let's talk about this card more in detail. Um, the King of Pentacles represents the fruit of worldly ambition that has brought you success, a sense of abundance, stability, security. The King of Pentacles is a fatherly figure that provides all of those things and is also someone that is happy to share all that they have accumulated. This card represents abundance, power, and security. Essentially, this card represents you achieving everything that it is that you're looking for. You eventually reaching a state where you're happy with everything that has come into your life. A truly fantastic card for this reading. I'll be honest with you so far. We're only 4 cards into this reading, but so far, completely amazing cards that you've managed to pull, okay? Let's keep going to the next card. The next card that we have here is the Four of Swords. Let's talk about that card a little bit more. The Four of Swords represents rest after a period of intense struggle and heartbreak. Much has been lost, but this card indicates that one is in recovery from the challenge. The message being conveyed here is that in order to move forward and rejoin life, we must pause and look within. This card represents rest, restoration, and contemplation. And really, it's the contemplation part about this card that comes out the most strong for me in this reading. And it talks about taking the time to really think through what it is that you are looking for. Okay. Now, to attract the right love into your life, of course, it's just the nature of the question that we're asking here. You have to already have an understanding of what it is that you're looking for. You don't want to attract the wrong energy into your life by mistake. Let's take a look at the next card that we have here. And the next card that we have here is the Hanged Man. Now, the Hanged Man, this card represents somebody who is essentially making a willing sacrifice, but I'm going to read you the full meaning. Though the Hanged Man is swinging upside down, the serenity on his face expresses peace, calm, and indicates that he is doing this of his own free will. The Hanged Man understands the value of self-sacrifice. One must take a step backwards to move ahead. This card represents sacrifice, it represents release, and it represents martyrdom. Now, making a willing sacrifice, letting go of something in order to move forward in a positive way, is an extremely important part in attracting love into your life. Is there somebody from your past that you're still holding on to emotions from that you're not willing to let go of? Know that if there is, that this energy could be preventing somebody new from coming into your life. Manifestation is a really important part of bringing energy into your life. Now, we'll talk about manifestation here. Manifestation is essentially envisioning something that it is that you want and taking action in order to bring it in. Now, of course, the energy that you put out into the universe is extremely important. So if you're constantly thinking about a past relationship that most likely will never work out, if your thought is on that relationship, then that's the energy that you're going to be bringing in. Now, that relationship may not end up coming back, but by focusing on a failed relationship or being hung up on somebody from the past, especially if that person will never move forward as an ideal partner in your life, by focusing on their energy, you're going to attract more people like them, and most likely those people will not be compatible with you as well. So, of course, one of the willing sacrifices that you're going to need to make in order to move forward into attracting new love is to truly let go of the emotions and feelings related to those previous relationships that you may have had that you're still hanging on to. And sometimes this can take time. Let's take a look at the next card that we have here. And the next card that we have here is the Ace of Wands. Let's talk about this in detail. The suit of wands is always the first step in the act of creation. This card represents the burning fire of intention, desire, and passion, and ignites the spark of an idea. Thus, this card represents the powerful forces of your will, guiding your way like a torch into the world, on a journey to make these desires become a reality. The card represents creation, willpower, inspiration, and desire. Of course, willpower and desire is two of the most important abilities that everyone possesses, but the most important abilities for you to use to attract love into your life. Let's go on and take a look at the next card that we have here. Now, do note we're at the last 3 cards for this reading. Once we finish flipping over these 3 cards, we'll then be able to look and see what all the cards are saying together. The question right now, again, that we're looking at is, what can you do to attract love into your life? Let's keep going. The next card that we have here is the Chariot. Okay, and we're going to talk about this card here. And it's actually a pretty significant card. Let's go ahead with that one. Now, the Chariot represents choosing a path. At times, success and victory is the result of pure willpower and self-control. To achieve and accomplish what you desire, you must take the reins and harness the chaos that surrounds you. This card represents direction, control, and willpower. Willpower. We heard something very similar actually in the Ace of Wands cards, which is actually interesting. But in order to attract love into your life, it isn't just wishing for it to happen. It's about seeking. If you're not looking, if you're not out there looking, if you don't get into the driver's seat of that chariot and choose a direction to head into, if you're not looking, if you're not putting yourself out there, no one will find you. So put yourself out there so that people can discover you're there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next card that we have here. And the next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune represents greater forces that are outside of human control, that are at work here. The same forces that govern the changes of the season or the rising and setting of the sun. It's also the master of luck and fate of individuals. This card represents an inevitable changing of cycles. It is a lesson of what's up must come down, and what is down must go back up. This card represents change, cycles, an inevitable fate. It's inevitable. This card is essentially representing a change of luck, and it's indicating that it's inevitable. It's almost guaranteeing that you already have the ability to attract the love that you've always been looking for into your life. This is an ability that you possess. It's an ability that everyone possesses. But we'll talk more about how and what you can do, of course, after we pull the last card. Now, the last card in every reading is usually the most significant, and sometimes it can change the course of the entire reading. Let's take a look at this card and see what it has to say. And once we flip this card, we can then evaluate all the cards together and see what they're saying combined. Of course, the question once again is, what can you do to attract love into your life? Let's see what the last card is. And the last card that we have here is the Eight of Swords. Now, with the Eight of Swords, this represents deception. Ooh, sorry. No deception. I'm reading the wrong description. Let's go to the next one, okay? This is the right description. The Eight of Swords represents the woman in the card being restrained and trapped. Okay? She feels like there is no way out. But these feelings of helplessness are actually one that is caused by a belief in one's own victimization. This card represents imprisonment, powerlessness, and self-victimization. Let's talk about self-victimization. If you're making yourself the victim, are you truly a victim? The answer to that is no. Now, finding love isn't something that happens magically. And of course, we can easily, all of us, can feel trapped, especially if we've had failure in looking for love. But know that this feeling of being trapped is an illusion, because no one is trapped. You're not trapped. You can free yourself at any time. We have the ability to make decisions and choices to change our lives, even if those decisions and choices are difficult. Now, the individual in this card who's bound and blindfolded, they're actually putting themselves in this position because they believe they're trapped. They think they're trapped. But the reality of the situation is they're not. The swords represents what stands in their way to move forward. But notice all of those swords are behind them. And if you look, there's a clear path to walk forward. All one has to do is lift up the blindfold and take a peek, and they'll see that there's a clear path in front of them. What can you do to attract love into your life? Allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to believe that you can find love and that love can find you. Realize that you're not trapped. Nothing is trapping you. Okay? Know that you've done nothing wrong. Note that the more effort that you put in, the better chance you have of success. And as far as the attracting the right person, it's all about believing you can attract the right person. It's all about having that confidence that you can do it. Now, there is somebody out there for everyone. I guarantee you. Everyone has a soulmate out there. In fact, I believe we have multiple soulmates out there. There's other types called twin flames, forever partners. There's an abundance if you choose to look. It's easier than ever before to find a partner, but it takes time. It takes effort. Let's go ahead and take a look at all of these cards combined and see what's coming through. One of the most amazing cards is the first one that we got here is actually the delightful surprise card. Now, normally in order to find love, to have somebody find you, okay, you have to put in a lot of time, work, and effort. And I'm not saying that you won't have to put in effort, but do note that there's a delightful surprise on the way for you once you start this journey. Now, that delightful surprise represents something happening that is unexpected, that is going to bring good things. Temperance and balance means that you are going to find balance. Okay. Now, this card doesn't necessarily represent you balancing, you needing to balance your life first, but it does talk about you kind of letting go of certain energies in order for some positive energies to come in. To attract a partner, of course, you're going to have to put work into it, time and effort. Of course, getting out there, putting yourself out there, maybe joining some online dating sites or going to various places where you can find people like a bar, a nightclub, a popular spot that people like to visit. Okay? It's all about putting in that effort to look good, to be somewhere where you're going to be noticed. Online dating by far is probably the best option for everyone these days. Even though sometimes the online dating experience may not be the most favorable, it's all about sorting through and finding the most ideal person for you. Of course, with online dating, you have to sift through a lot of people, but people can find you on online dating as well. And I do think that's what could potentially be happening here. Somebody will find you, but in order for them to find you, you have to put yourself out there to be found. We have the King of Pentacles, and this is an absolutely fantastic card. And this represents you attaining and gaining everything that it is that you're looking for. In fact, getting this card in a reading of any type means that you will achieve your goal. And you're going to achieve actually probably more than your goal. In fact, this card basically represents attaining everything that it is that you're looking for and being very happy with the results at the end. We have the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords, more in regards to this reading, it represents taking the time to think about what it is that you truly want. Okay. In order to find or attract the partner of your dreams, in order to find and attract a partner that is suitable for you, a soulmate, a forever partner, it's all about figuring out what it is that you're looking for. If you don't know what qualities you're looking for in a partner, it's going to be really hard for you to find the one that's right for you. One of the reasons why a lot of people date, and one of the reasons why usually along the way to finding that ideal partner, to finding that ideal love, we have to date several people, have more experiences. It's so that we learn and grow and we can discover what it is that we want and what it is that we don't want. And that's the key to finding that person. Of course, the cards are also saying that you may have to make a willing sacrifice in order to let things move forward. Now, more often than not, the sacrifice that some people have to make is letting go. Letting go of failed relationships or letting go of emotions from the past. Regardless of whether or not a relationship works or not, you may be left with feelings for that previous partner. You may be left wondering if that relationship can ever come back again. In order for you to attract new love, You have to let go of the old love energy that you still might be hung up on. If you're doing a first date with somebody, if you're meeting somebody that could be a potential partner, they might be able to pick up on the fact that you're not 100% focused on them, especially if you're hung up on somebody else. And of course, comparing them with somebody else isn't necessarily a good way to judge them as a person. Knowing what qualities that you're looking for and what qualities that you're not looking for, that's the best way to judge somebody. Don't judge a new partner based on a previous experience with an old one, especially if that old partner was a little bit negative. Just because one person did something bad to you doesn't mean that the next person will. Everybody is different. The Ace of Wands represents the attainment of knowledge, gaining knowledge, but more importantly, the knowledge that you need to light your way forward, to see what's next. Of course, until you meet somebody and communicate with them, you won't know whether or not they're going to make a suitable love candidate. Okay. And of course, to attract those people into your life, it's about getting in the driver's seat. And that's what the chariot is all about. You can see in the chariot, there's an individual. They're standing in a chariot. The chariot is being pulled by two sphinxes. And essentially, it's about getting in that driver's seat of your life, taking charge, and moving in a positive direction. Now, if you're just going to sit at home and do nothing, you're probably not going to attract a new love into your life unless they deliver your food or something. um, but in regards to this, you have to put yourself out there. And that's the big message about this. You have to represent yourself in the best light. You have to put yourself out there. And most importantly, you need to believe. Believe that you're going to attract new love into your life. Believe that you can attract new love into your life. I'll be honest with you. If you don't believe that you can attract new love in your life, guess what? You won't. Okay? So this is very much about you believing, you taking action, you putting yourself out there so that you can be discovered by that love that you deserve, by that love that you're worthy of. You are good enough. You deserve love. Everyone deserves love. And you deserve that ideal love, that perfect love. You deserve to find that partner that fits you like a glove. The next card that we have here, of course, is the Wheel of Fortune, and this talks about a turn of good fortune. So if you haven't had as much luck lately, believe me, you will soon. Okay? This talks about the universe, and luck turning. Um, you may have put effort into the past. You're going to need to put more effort into the future to make this happen for you. But know that luck is on your side. Believe that luck is on your side because it is. And of course, the last card represents the feeling of being trapped. And what does this card actually represent? Well, it represents your fears and worries. And I talked about this earlier. If you believe you're trapped and you can't move forward, if you believe that you'll never find a new love, you won't. Okay? The feeling of being trapped is just that. It's a feeling. It's not a physical thing. Even if you're in a relationship now that you feel like you're trapped in, you can always walk away. If something doesn't feel right, you can always walk away. You always have the choice. You have control of your life and the direction that it goes into. And according to these cards, it looks like it's going to be heading into an absolutely fantastic direction. And you have everything that you need already to attract love into your life. So believe. you can attract love into your life. Put yourself out there. Make a good impression. Seek, find, communicate, and most importantly, figure out what it is that you're looking for. Because if you know what skills, attributes that you're looking for in a partner, the easier it'll be for you to find them and for them to find you. Thanks so much for selecting to do this reading with me. And Astrology Valley would like to thank you.